Ladies and gentlemen, part 4 of the Charlie Show. Now, Elizabeth's going to explain a little bit about the pans and the onions. Please teach us.
Well, as you can come into the kitchen and see our progress, the meat has basically cooked down a bit. It's ready for the seasoning and the chili sauce, but I cut up some onions and put them into the ground beef, and basically you'll know the onions are cooked when they turn from white to clear. They bring on a little more translucent color, and that's how you know vegetables are usually cooked.
Go ahead and tilt the pan. Maybe bring it a little closer.
Yeah.
Looks lovely. Okay, and you told us about the pans?
Well, there are certain things that do help when cooking. Certain pans, like aluminum pans, do cook things easier than... I'm not sure exactly what this is made out of. It's not necessarily cast iron, but there's just different things that how they cook foods. Like aluminum pans are easier to cook things like eggs and omelets because the pan heats evenly and it will cook. Now, if you have one of those other kind of pans, it might stick to the bottom and they don't heat the same way.
Very good.
Of course, maybe in this pan is a good pan for maybe like sauces and tomatoes and cooking spaghetti and things. Now, Charlie was going to show you how to do the hot dogs.
Yeah. Alright. So what I did to the hot dogs was I just basically cut them in half, as you can see. And I'm going to stick the hot dogs back in the oven for about 2 to 3 more minutes. In the meantime, I just take the hormone chili after we've cooked it, of course, and you can go ahead and tilt it down right here. Just pour the chili all in the pan like that. I turn the heat back up to at least a medium.
Of course, it doesn't take much longer, and I think that one needs to be turned on again.
Which one? The back one? Oh shit, it's on.
It's the only thing about gas stoves.
Just simply mix all this in together. Yeah, a little bit more there. Once again, Elizabeth is still getting used to the camera. And of course, once you've poured the chili into the pan with the ground beef, that's when you can either add your seasonings like salt or whatever that you want to use.
Now, salt is not necessarily good for high blood pressure.
Oh, definitely not.
And of course, if you use something like a canned product, there's more than likely there's probably salt that's already in the chili sauce, as salt is a really good thing that they put in a lot of canned food to preserve the food and keep it from spoiling.
Very nice.
You know, back in the old days, they did not have refrigerators to keep things like meat cool, so they would slather, you know, meat in like sugar and spices and salts to keep it cured, and they would, you know, hang it out to dry. Kind of like Virginia ham.
Elizabeth knows a lot about this type of stuff. very educational.
Yes, the other day the thought came to my head of what did George Washington eat back in the 1700s? I mean, I was cooking food for myself, and I thought, how did they cook food back then if they didn't have refrigerators and oil to fry things, and just what was their diet like? You know, a new invention of the time was ice cream. They felt that ice cream was an indulgence, and they figured out a way to make it, but they had to eat it immediately as there was no way to keep it and preserve it at that time. Of course, it is most famous that the first person to serve ice cream at the White House was Dolly Madison, the wife of the fourth president of the United States of America, James Madison.
Comment, you're too high.
I believe James Madison, to this day, is still the shortest president we've ever had. He was only 5 feet 6 inches tall or something, or 5'4". He was quite a midget.
Elizabeth, you're all over the place with this camera. Go present it.
My hair's gonna...
Oh, yes.
It's having issues.
So, Elizabeth, show us the meat and how it turned out up close. So as you can see, the seasonings along with the onions and all that was mixed together.
It smells good.
It smells divine. So, that is pretty much chili now. Can you go ahead and take the hot dogs out for us?
Oh, yes. Sometimes some people, be a little spacey and they be forgetting things.
So, of course, with the...
This is not the Rachel Ray show where everything was, pre-prepared. They want to stuff like that. Well, on their show, they do everything beforehand, and then they show you the finished, perfect product, and they don't be really showing you what the thing they be working on, like if that comes out perfect or not. They always have examples in the oven that are perfect.
So,
But we be keeping it real.
So that was basically part 4 of the show, and coming up on part 5, we're going to show you basically how to prepare it. So, stay tuned. Uh-oh. Stop right now.